Okay, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Scott, and we're here for my review of Married to Medicine Season 7, Episode 3. Okay, so we're going to pick up where we left off last week with Simone and Quad. So, we all know that Quad reached out her hand to Simone and she wanted to reconnect with her. So, they decided that they were going to go out for dinner to have a conversation. So, after Quad was late and did all of her damn theatrics, Simone is over it. Honestly, she's over it. She doesn't want to talk about what happened last year, yesteryear, whatever. And she just wants everything to be on a clean slate. She just wants her friendship back with Quad. But my thing with Quad is this. Well, not really Quad. My thing with Simone is this. You can't expect to reconnect without having a conversation about what happened, how you made this person feel, and everything like that. That's the thing about reconnecting. You do have to confront the issues that led to you guys being disconnected in the first place. So that's just how I feel with people. Like, if I decide that I'm going to reconnect with a motherfucker, then we need to have a conversation about what you did, what I did, how I made you feel, how I made you feel, and how you made me feel. That needs to be addressed. That needs to be put out on the table. And that's that, because I can't go into a situation with someone, reconnecting, rekindling something without talking about what happened that ended it to begin with, so we can rekindle it on a fresh and clean note. That's what I feel like Quad was doing. But Quad doesn't have that much of good communication skills, to be quite honest. So, yeah, she's real childish, and she can be real motherfucking bratty. And that's why don't nobody be seeing it for her. Although she be having a point sometime, don't nobody see it for her because she's a fucking brat. And to be honest, Simone drove the fuck off, and who could blame her? You know what I mean? Because Quad, tell me now. I'm not telling you shit. That's what I would have done. So then, after she drives the fuck off, Simone goes home to Cecil, and she talks about her conversation with Quad. Simone don't want to talk about what happened last year. She just wants to go ahead and start anew with this friendship. But like I said already, you can't start anew with this friendship if you don't address what's ended it in the first place. You can't do that. You have to have some solid foundation. And what I mean by solid foundation, y'all gotta reconnect the right way. Talk about what happened. Talk about what y'all are gonna do. Talk about what y'all are gonna do. Talk about how y'all are gonna approach this relationship now. Don't approach it the same way you did the first time. You know what I mean? And you have to recount what happened so y'all can go into it with a different thought process and a different mind process. See, Simone just want to jump back into the sack and be friends again when you can't just do that right off the rip. Y'all got to talk about everything that happened, everything that transpired, and everything that led y'all to the place that y'all are at now. I'm basically regurgitating what I just said. Simone don't get it though, but I get it completely. You can't just say, oh, we're friends again, everything is okay, without having a conversation about it. You can't. You just cannot. So, Mariah is setting shit up because Lake and Toya are coming over. And you know, Aiden was talking about how sexy Mariah look in the kitchen and all that stuff. And you know, he was like, oh, you might have to cancel what you got going on because you looking too good to be doing what you doing. And I'm like, oh, okay, look at Aiden admiring his wife, okay? So next thing you know, Lake is already there and Toya arrives. Now they sitting out there and they want to talk about the tea party. And Mariah talks about the Jackie situation. And she's so gun-ho on this Jackie thing. She really can't let it go. She can't get over it. She feels like Jackie was perpetuating the bullshit. And I still disagree. I still don't see that that's what she was doing. I can see how it could be interpreted that way. I can. I'm not completely blind. I can see that. But she probably should have reworded it. But at the end of the day, when you already got an issue with somebody, you're going to see it as some dirt. So, just taking my dislike for Mariah out of it, I can't understand why she took it that way. Although, I wouldn't have taken it that way. Because I can only speak for myself. I wouldn't have taken it like that. Because the way I really see it, like I said, is she probably just said, was it right for Quad to bring it up? But the way that she said it, bitch, you trying to keep it out there that I got drugs. You know that I did drugs. So I understand it now. Well, I've been understanding it, but to me, I still don't see it that way. Because if it was me, if I was Mariah, I wouldn't have seen it that way. But being that most things don't offend me, of course I'm not gonna see it like that. But Mariah is extremely sensitive when it comes down to Jackie. She really feels like Jackie got it in for her, and it's just what it is. So she was like, no, we give Jackie too many passes. She's always being passive aggressive. She's always being shady. She's doing it. She's doing it. So I just feel like she knew what the fuck she was doing. Then Toya was like, she started talking about her beef with Contessa. And she said she never got a chance to address Contessa at the tea party. And she just feels like she doesn't want to keep arguing with Contessa. She don't want to keep on having the beef with her. She don't want to keep going back and forth. She just doesn't want to have that energy. To be honest, it's a lot to have a beef with somebody. It's a fucking lot to hate somebody. And you know what I mean? Sometimes for me, I just rather just leave well enough alone and don't even address it. Because at this point in time in my life, I don't need people around me that I have to constantly side-eye. I don't need people around me that don't mean me no good. And I don't need people in my life that's going to lie and vilify me to make me look like I'm not, that I was never a supportive friend to them, just to make me look bad and make themselves look good and be the victim. I don't have time for people like that. So my thing about it is, you know, sometimes it's easier to just dead this shit and dead the relationship and keep it moving. Like I've made a conscious effort in my life. If I know I can't resolve anything with you, I don't need you around me. I don't want to fuck with you. It's just what it is. I ain't got no hate. I don't want nothing bad to happen to you. I don't give a fuck if anything bad happens to you. But at the same time, I don't want it to happen. But at the end of the day, you're a person I used to know, and I don't want to deal with you no more, and I don't fuck with you. That's that. I don't need people around me for that. With that bullshit, I just don't. I'm in a better place in life. I don't need that. So I understand where Toya coming from. Sometimes you just get tired of beefing with people. Sometimes you get tired of arguing with people. Sometimes it's like, okay, bitch, we don't like each other. And that's just what it is. Fuck all that bullshit. I'm not going to keep going back and forth. And that's just what it is. So, Jackie and Simone, they meet up with each other. And Jackie is basically telling Simone, listen, me and you in Heavenly, we were the threesome, okay? We done a lot of things together. And I just really miss my friends. And Simone was like, well, I understand that, Jackie, but at the same time, I just don't feel like I need to be trying to make amends and be forced to make amends with a person who obviously doesn't care about me. I told Heavenly some things about my husband in private, and she went on Twitter and did what she did. Like, I just don't feel like I need to be forced into that. Now, Simone was like, until I can see you sit down with Mariah, then I could be able to sit down with Heavenly. So, Jackie agrees that she would sit down with Mariah, and she'll do anything for Simone, long as she get to see her and Heavenly sit down and talk. Now, here's my thing with people, and this is the situation. I mentioned this in my last video that I did. I almost forgot the Potomac video. Me and Aaliyah had this conversation like a while ago. And it was like, people, when it comes down to me, people think that I'm a grudge holder. People think that I don't forgive people. And my thing is that, for me, a lot of the times I feel like when people do certain things to you, some people can really make a mistake, or some people really don't mean to hurt you. But I feel like there are some people that really means to hurt you and really mean to cut you deep, and they do that on purpose. So when people try, like we were having, like me and Aaliyah was talking about a certain situation, and she was like, well, I feel like you need to have that conversation. I feel like you need to let bygones be bygones. I feel like it needs to be hashed out. I feel like it don't. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, what the fuck am I hashing out? Like, I just honestly feel like this. If you did it to me, you knew what the fuck you were doing, and you did it to hurt me. And after you apologize to me, it's really not going to mean anything, because I'm still not going to like you. I'm still not going to fuck with you. I'm still not going to want to have nothing to do with you, because all I'm going to remember is that you did that to me. So it's kind of like, it would be a waste of my time to try to sit down and have a conversation. At this point, I don't give a damn at this point. You know what I mean? That's just what it was. But she made Aaliyah made valid points. And what I'm saying in this video is the exact same thing I said to her, me being stubborn. But she makes valid points. But for me, it's like when I'm done with someone, I am seriously done with them. Like, I am open to having a conversation with certain people, but sometimes it be like, why would I have a conversation and I know that once the conversation is done, I'm not gonna fuck with them still. You know what I mean? So that's why I be at with this shit, but you know, it is what it is. So Toya and Eugene, they get a bad report on one of their sons, and they felt like one of their sons had been acting up ever since the miscarriage happened. So they have a touching conversation with them about the miscarriage and things of that nature, and I thought it was a nice conversation. I think they do need that. They needed that, and I'm glad that they were having a mature conversation with the kids about that, not hiding it, not trying to, you know, shield them away from the real shit. You know what I mean? The children need to know, and I feel like a lot of the times when parents try to hide shit from their kids, it doesn't help anything. So I'm glad that they had that conversation. So I love when I see Alora and Heavenly have these conversations as mother and daughter. They are priceless. I love those conversations. But she went to have a conversation with that girl about some sex and boys, and she don't want to have that conversation. She don't feel like Alora should date till she 18, and Dr. Damon feel like she can't date till she 30. And it was a hot ass mess. She didn't even want to have that conversation. She didn't want to talk. She went downstairs and she was done with it, and I don't blame her because that was a mess. But Quiet has a conversation with Jackie. And Jackie, Quiet tells Jackie how she feels about Simone in the relationship. And she feels like, if we're going to reconnect, I have to tell you how I felt. And I agree with Quiet. If I'm going to reconnect with you, if I'm going to rekindle this friendship, if I'm going to work on this friendship, then we need to talk about how you made me feel. Because I want you to know that you should never make me feel that way again in life. We don't never need to have this again. You don't need to never do that again. Because if you don't know how you made me feel, there's a possibility that you could do it again. So I'm going to let you know how you made me feel so you don't make that same mistake. And I agree with Quiet, 100%. So Jackie, Simone, and Heavenly, they go out to dinner. Jackie and Mariah say a piece. Mariah tells Jackie exactly how she felt in regards to the situation with the open and honest thing. And Jackie feels like Mariah doesn't talk to her, she talks at her. Mariah has that down pat with a lot of people. She don't talk to you, she talk at you. But Jackie did apologize to Mariah for how she made her feel, and she did not mean to offend her, and that's just what it was. Mariah accepts the apology because that's all she really wanted anyway, was for Jackie to apologize to her. Now when it comes down to Simone and Heavenly, both of them are stubborn as fuck. They're not going to get it. Heavenly don't understand that she says things to people that's supposed to be her friends, and it be fucked up. If that girl told you some personal shit about her and her husband and how she felt about him not having a job, you shouldn't have tweeted that. You talking about, well, your husband said something about me on Twitter. All he did was repeat what the fuck Mariah said, which was, you need to pressure wash your house. That's all she said. You could have, if you didn't like the fact that he repeated that shit, you could have said something else to him. But instead, you wanted to say, you know, you want to do some other shit. Talking about Dr. Damon never would have done it. You can't speak for your husband. All Cecil did was repeat what Mariah said because he felt like it was funny, and it might have been a petty ass moment, but you didn't have to go there with some shit that Simone told you in private. You know what the fuck you be doing, and you need to stop. Okay? Heavenly be on that fuck shit. She never thinks that she's wrong. Okay? But then they later reach common ground after Simone didn't want to talk about it no more. She was done, but they do reach common ground after that. Jack and Mariah, they reach common ground. Simone and Heavenly does. I don't think that Simone and Heavenly would ever really reach common ground because Heavenly really don't think that she was wrong what her ass was. But that's just the moral of the story here. But that being said, this is my review on Married to Medicine. Be sure to like, rate, comment, subscribe, and share this video or whatever you see fit. Follow me on Instagram at Scotty_by_nature. And that's it, you guys. It's 3:02 in the morning and I'm sleepy as fuck and I'm ready to go to sleep. Y'all will see this video sometime Monday afternoon probably. I'm out here, y'all. Till next time. Peace.